I'd like to talk a little bit about my middle son, who is afflicted with schizoaffective disorder. And he was in and out of the hospital for a period of a couple of years, just it seemed like every other week. And he had been doing relatively well, did some college. It at first appeared when he was trying to join the Navy, and he had his first breakdown. So when he came home, we worked with him. He was independent. He had a girlfriend. He was going to school. He'd have occasional problems. He'd go off the meds, go on the meds. He was using substances. But what really changed things was when he made a suicidal attempt and overdosed on his medication. I found him in the bathtub after 3 days in his apartment. He nearly died. So that was pretty scary. We wanted to get him into independent housing. He was in Section 8 housing for a while. But during that time, he was in and out of the hospital every other week. It seemed like they never kept him long enough. So one time we got him committed to the state hospital, and they were looking at discharging him. I went and talked to the administrator of the hospital. Don't be afraid to speak up. And I said, you're not doing him any good. You're costing the taxpayers a ton of money for not really solving this issue or getting him on a stable medicine. So they listened, and they kept him in a long-term unit. He was there for 8 months, came out much improved. Again, we returned him to independent housing. Again, we had issues with him staying on medication and being able to stabilize himself living alone. Living alone was not doing him any good, and any encouragement I gave him to go into community support groups, he wasn't listening. Finally, he had another 8-month hospitalization. This time they put him on Clozaril, and he stabilized enough in that time to come out. But he wasn't really going to be able to go back to Section 8 housing or independent housing. I didn't think that was beneficial to him. He didn't have community access or support. We finally convinced him to through the ACTS program, to participate into some community support groups. He started out with daycare, then he went to partial hospitalization program during the day, and that gave his life some structure. But what really did is when we were accepted for assisted living. And assisted living is an option that many people don't think about for their loved one, but it has been wonderful for us. He's been able to be stable. He hasn't been in the hospital for almost 2 years, and that's a miracle for us. And they've made sure that he gets his medication. He has 3 solid meals available to him a day. I take him shopping once a week to get groceries and incidentals, and take him to church with me on Sunday and out to eat. And he has a life that has structure and purpose. He has companionship, a roommate. Now I think he's almost ready to start looking for another girlfriend, somebody else that maybe can take care of him besides me. But he's doing so much better, and I'm so proud of him. If I can talk about mental illness, so can you. My name is Mairy Baird. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. Don't be afraid.